Hello guys, my name is Zeeshan Hashim and this is the fourth video you're watching, and I have introduced myself already in my last three videos. I'm teaching at Brunel University London. I also teach at BMC Institute London, and since 4 years I am helping students writing dissertation thesis at the undergrad level, postgrad level, even the PhD level as well. So the first three videos discussed about how to how to construct you can say the research question. And this video, it is only about how to structure a dissertation and thesis. So my email address is also given. So if you want to discuss it further in detail, so you can contact me and then we will discuss about it. So remember that the here I'm explaining the different components of a dissertation or thesis. It is based on the dissertation of 10,000 words. Mostly in the UK, you need to write a dissertation of 10,000 words, and it's 10 plus and 10 plus minus means if you write it in 9,000 to 11,000 words, it's totally fine. So, and but the percentage where I'm going to explain that can also be applied to the, you can say the 8,000 words dissertation and thesis, 15,000 words dissertation and thesis. So it doesn't matter how many words are, but the most important thing is the weightage of different, the sections in your dissertation. So the first section, it is the abstract, and you remember that you don't put the section number here. So the abstract is without the section number, but abstract is the first thing it means which is given and you need to write in your dissertation. So it must be abstract, must be in the dissertation 150 to 200 words. But if you are going to submit the paper for the publication, so then my suggestion is that it must be around 125 words, because papers mostly prefer the word count of abstracts around 100. But remember that abstract you need to write at the end of your, you can say the dissertation, because in the abstract you need to write the summary of what you have means written in your dissertation. So I will make one video in order to explain how to properly write the abstract. So subscribe the channel and you will keep getting the updates. And then the second section, which is also very, very important, it's the introduction section. And my suggestion is that means write it also at the end. When you finish conclusion, then write the introduction, because introduction means that you are going to introduce your research. So when you will not, until you will not finish your research, you can't introduce it. But remember that my suggestion is that keep arranging its notes, because at the end when you will need to write the introduction, you should not read to you should not need to read the papers again and again. So it's better to maintain your notes, and the word count of introduction must be around 700 to 800 words for the 10,000 words dissertation. And remember that I will also make the video for the introduction as well. For all the section, I will make videos separately. And start from the literature review, which is the third section, because and you need to write 3,000 to 3,500 words. And remember that the literature review is the first step in every research, because you need to read how other scholars have done research on the topic or the research question which you are going to deal with. And also you need to find out the different data sources the different authors have used, different econometric models they have used, different arguments. So the literature review will tell you, okay, how much work has been done on your particular research question and what is missing and what you need to do. So literature review always leads you to the, you can say the hypothesis, which you will test in the data analysis section. So I will also make some videos on literature review, because there are many things to discuss. And The fourth section is the research design. So when you will make hypothesis in the last section, at the end of last section, then you need to collect the data, sampling it, and means arranging the independent variable, dependent variable, control variables. You will need to explain them and providing justification why you are using these variables, and the what's the, you can say, the structure of data, and what's the variability of data, and all these things you need to explain in the variable description. And there are the empirical issues you need to discuss. Means, for example, in some research questions or hypothesis, there is the endogeneity, you need to deal with it, so you need to discuss it. And also the methodology, what methodology you are using it, and what's the rationality of using it. So it must be 3,000 words to 3,500 words. But remember that the weightage of means, the literature review and research design must be equal. So that's very, very important thing. Mostly what students do, they spend more time on the literature review and less time on the research design. This should not be, I don't advise that. And remember that if you are writing 10,000 words, so it means that 30 to 35% of your work must be on the means what literature review, and 30 to 35% work on the research design. So this weightage you can also apply to the dissertation of 15,000 words or the dissertation of 8,000 words, or whatever the word count you have. Okay, so when you have the research design section, this is the second section in which you need to work. But remember that you need to maintain notes all the time. And then I will also make one video. I will explain how to maintain the notes, because when you need to write section, you should not need to read the papers again and again and again. And also when you finish the research design section, writing about it, then collect the data and then analyze the data and then present the results and properly discuss them. And remember that, if the results are according to the hypothesis you have made, then you will need to revise your hypothesis as well, and some sections in the research design as well, and some section in the literature review as well. So the results are the basic criteria which will tell you that whether your hypothesis was right or wrong. And remember that some students and some supervisors also, go for this option that, okay, first we need to collect the data, observe the results, and then write the research literature review and the hypothesis. But that's mostly happens at the PhD level or after the PhD, when you are already engaged in one topic, and then you know everything about the research question and about the field in which you are working, and then after observing the results, then you are going to write your paper. But at the undergrad and master level, I would always suggest you that, means first you need to read the work the other scholars have done so far, and the results and discussion section must take 15% to 20%. So it's for 10,000 words essay, it is 1,500 to 2,000 words. And then at the end, that's the conclusion and implementation. And remember that don't put the section number to the conclusion and implementation. Mostly people don't do it, but if you will do in the dissertation, nobody will mind. But my suggestion is that keep the conclusion without the numbering. And also the 500 to 700 words you can write for conclusion and implementation, but it depends if your the conclusion has or a lot of implementation, the policy side implementation and the academic side implementation, and you need to write a lot about, especially what's the, you can say that how your research is important in terms of policy making and the investors awareness and all these things. It depends how important your the research is. So when I will make the video about the conclusion and implementation, I will also explain how can you apply, how can you provide the implementation, the discussion and the conclusion implementation section. And then the references you will you provide, and I will also make a small video how to properly alphabetically arrange just within one click. Means it's very easy. Some students spend many days just arranging the references, but I will tell you how to quickly make the references just in one click. And then the appendices you need to put at after the references if you have it, but remember that the references and appendices means you can't put the section number. So the section number you will put just for the introduction, literature review, and the research design, results and discussion. And if you want for the conclusion, and if you don't want for it, no means don't worry about it. So this is the basically the structure of the dissertation. And I will, again, I'm telling, I will make video for every section, and please subscribe the channel and keep in touch. And this is also my email address. And if you have written any section, introduction section, literature review section, any section, you can send it to me, and then you can say that I will review it, and then I will provide feedback, good feedback. Also, I will tell you, okay, these papers are also very relevant to you to read them. So I will, enrich the work you would have done so far. And this is my email address, and I charge £50 per hour for the meeting, and that's it. So I'm hopeful that this video helps you a lot. Please put your comments and suggest me for further improvement. Take care. Bye-bye.